the administrator of Denver Township, Mr. Steve Watt. Give a big hand.
Hello, good afternoon everyone, and welcome to the 36th annual Sri Lanka Day Festival here in the Township of Danville. On behalf of Mayor Hassa and the Township Council, I welcome everyone here to Danville this afternoon. Typically the mayor would be the one officiating this great ceremony. Unfortunately, due to a prior commitment with the National Guard and duty he has to serve there, he is unable to attend this afternoon. However, I will say that it's a great personal honor for me to participate in Sri Lanka Day, the 36th Sri Lanka Day in the Township of Danville. Just a real brief story. For those of you who may know me, one of my great hobbies is international travel. And I had a little tradition in that in front of my home, next to the Star-Spangled Banner, the American flag, I typically fly the flag of the subsequent country, the next country that I'm going to visit. In front of my home right now, next to the American flag, is the Sri Lankan flag. I have the great honor and privilege of going to visit Sri Lanka in October of this year, and I'm very excited to do so and to visit your wonderful country that I've heard so many great things about. And actually, just a couple of the little empanadas, the fish empanadas today, I'm even more excited about eating the food there at Sri Lanka when I visit. So with that, I'm going to introduce some of the dignitaries who are here today and ask them to come up to the stage. Please everyone give a nice round of applause for Senator Bucco. Yeah. Also here is Assemblyman Bucco. Everyone please give a nice round of applause for Assemblyman Bucco. From the Township Council, the past Council President and current Council Member Tom Andes. Our Municipal Clerk Extraordinaire, Donna Costello. Please everyone give a nice round of applause for Donna. The organizer of the event, Jay Leonagay. If Jay can come up and I'll have him introduce the dignitaries and distinguished guests from Sri Lanka, including the ambassador to the United Nations and to the United States.
Do we have the president of the Rotary Club of Danville? No. And our former district governor? Come on up, Karen. And this is the president-elect of the Sunrise Rotary Club of Danville. We have two clubs in Danville. The president of the Danville Rotary Club, Laura, cannot be here, so Donna is pinch hitting for her. I'm going to make a few remarks here before we get started on this. I want to thank the Danville Township, particularly Donna and the mayor, and of course the chief administrator, Steve, who is going to Sri Lanka next month. I'm so happy about that because this is the group that helps us to have this for 36 years. That's a long time. I was just a young boy then when I got it, when we started this. But thank you, Danville Township, and all the senators and councilmen, and Tom Andes is here too. Everybody from Rotary is here. Where is our Rotary governor-elect? Is he here?
Yes, Avi.
Hey!
Yay, Avi!
Avi Tilak. I got him to Danville Rotary. He's the next most colorful guy in the Danville Rotary Club. At this stage, I'd like to call the past president of the Sri Lanka Association of New York. This is the guy that hold up the entire structure of the Sri Lanka Association for 40 years. We are celebrating 40 years of Sri Lanka Association in New York. And these are the people who helped us over the years, my wife included. People look at them, oh, good, these guys have done a hell of a job, and though they look tired already. For 40 years, these are the people who held up this group together. At this stage, I want to also recognize Dr. Vijay Kottaki, who is representing COBA, another college Old Boys Association. Jacobs, Mrs. Jagoda, also a past president. Mrs. Rajni Jagoda. Come on in, Rajni. And also, I'd like to invite the president of the Sri Lanka Medical Association of New York, Dr. Lakshman Denipidia, to come up here, please. Now, this is a very fine group, almost 13 years in its existence, and they have done a lot for Sri Lanka, maybe over $1 million worth of, $2 million worth of help we have done, given our country for the last, since we started this in 1995. And that shows exactly what this group is doing. They have a free clinic here. We invite you to go and take a blood pressure, check it out, and if you haven't seen a doctor for some time, this is the opportunity you don't have to pay. This is not Obamacare, but it is Samanacare, and run by Dr. Denipidia and a group of very qualified doctors. At this stage, I have great pleasure in inviting our president. Give her a very big hand. Dr. Narpali Fernando, who is the president of SARI, is here. Very dynamic president. She is all out to do a great job doing for us, and let's really welcome Narpali. All yours.
I've never seen a wonder like this. It's a lovely day, a lovely audience. I'd like to thank our ambassador and the permanent representative to the United Nations, His Excellency Dr. Palita Kohana. Let's give him a hand. And lastly, I'd like to thank all these vendors that supported us today by paying $100 for each tent. This money goes a long way in providing for our finances. And a word of thanks for all the cricketers. I hope you keep your game and your spirit and play a lovely game. Thank you.
Wait right there, we've got a few more things to do. One is to be, Sri Lanka is a multicultural, multi-linguistic country, and at this stage we must remember Muslim brethren observing Ramadan this month, and some of them couldn't be here. But because we have to remember them, they are fasting and they are very religious, some of them are, and we have to remember them today. In all fairness to them, they would have come here, but some of them are very, very involved in their own religion, and we must remember them. They are part of our culture, our Sri Lanka, our mixed organization of Sri Lankan culture that we have in the Sri Lanka Association of New York.
Thank you very much. In a few moments, I know that several of the dignitaries wanted to say a few words. However, let me first, although the mayor was unable to attend today, he did provide me with proclamations to present to the ambassador and permanent representative of Sri Lanka to the United Nations and the deputy chief of the mission to the embassy of Sri Lanka to the United States in Washington, D.C. Let me read this proclamation and present it to these two distinguished gentlemen. Whereas the Sri Lanka Association Incorporated of New York was formed to extend fellowship, social and cultural understanding, and to demonstrate to all countries of the world a sincere love of brotherhood and freedom. And whereas the Township of Denville proudly extends our hand in fellowship as we join in celebrating the 36th anniversary of Denville hosting the annual Sri Lanka Sports Festival and cricket match in the Township of Denville. And whereas the Township of Denville is honored to welcome His Excellency Palita Kohana, Ambassador and Permanent Representative of Sri Lanka to the United Nations, and His Excellency Ambassador Isaila Werakun, Deputy Chief of Mission, Embassy of Sri Lanka to the United States, Washington, D.C., as well as all esteemed members of the Sri Lanka community, to our municipality. Now therefore be it resolved that in commemoration of the 36th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Sports Festival and Cricket Match in the Township of Denville, I, Mayor P. Ted Hassa of the Township of Denville, do hereby proclaim today Sri Lanka Day in Denville, and call on all citizens of Denville to extend our sincere best wishes for continued success, health, prosperity, and fellowship now and in the years ahead. With that, I will present these two proclamations to the two distinguished guests from Sri Lanka.
At this stage, there is a person that we must recognize in this crowd here. The President just alluded that the chairman of this event, Vijay Jayasuriya, Vidura Jayasuriya, where is he? Where is Vidura? Okay, Vidura. Now, I may be the liaison between the township and Slani. And he's a guy and his committee, with the President of course, and the committee of the Sri Lanka Association of New York, put all this program together. So you got to think about Vidura. He's done a tremendous job. And thank you, Vidura. And if you want, let's have the rest of the committee of the Sri Lanka Association come up here, please. Okay, Steve.
Yes, I recognize Senator Bucco and to say a few words to the attendees of today's event and Assemblyman Bucco as well.
Thank you, Doug. It's a pleasure to be here today at Sri Lanka Day in Denville, in our 25th district. I've been coming here for a few years since it all has started this day in Denville. It's always a pleasure to meet so many of you wonderful people and being part of our community. My son Anthony and I, and Assemblyman Mike Carroll, have prepared a resolution in honor of the day, and would like to present it to the ambassador. I'll have my son say a few words and then present the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to be here today. Today is not only a great day to celebrate the heritage and culture of the citizens of Sri Lanka, but also to celebrate all of the friendships that have been made over the years that this festivity has taken place. You know, it is the thoughts and ideas that we share amongst ourselves during days like today that benefit our country tremendously, not only through foreign policy, but through economic policy as well. So it is an honor to be here and an honor to present to the ambassador a resolution from the state of New Jersey, a joint Senate resolution, honoring today's festivities. It was passed in the Senate unanimously, introduced by my father, passed in the Assembly unanimously, introduced by my colleague Michael Patriaro and myself. So on behalf of the state of New Jersey, we welcome you and we thank you for all that you do to make our country's friendships continue. Thank you.
First we have Dr. Parita Kohana, our permanent representative to the United Nations in New York. Dr. Kohana.
Senators and other distinguished guests from Denver and administrators. We also have with us the past presidents of the Sri Lanka Association and the current president who has worked tirelessly to get this event organized from Bali. There are the stakeholders and many others who have come here despite all other commitments. So I wish to thank them for being here and express my appreciation. This event has been held for many years now. It's an institution. And I'm delighted as Ambassador for Sri Lanka to the United Nations to see how our community has integrated with the American community. And I believe that that is a very important thing. We have not come here simply to form ghettos and be on our own, but also to be part of the host society and to contribute to the host society. And looking at the number of doctors here, I'm sure that we are making more than a fair contribution to the American society. The other important thing that I should mention is that Sri Lankans who have made America their home do not come from one group, one religion, one ethnicity. They come from all our rich network of ethnicities in Sri Lanka. Almost every ethnic group in Sri Lanka is represented here, and it gives me great pleasure to observe this. And I wish to congratulate my compatriots on how well they have needed themselves into this society. I do not wish to say too much more other than to thank our hosts for being with us this afternoon and also contributing to making this event a success. Thank you very much, and thank you again.
Ambassador Dr. Palita Govana, and now we'll have Deputy Chief of Mission from Washington DC, Ambassador Esra Veerakul.
His Excellency Dr. Palita Govana, Ambassador of Sri Lanka to the United Nations, the President of the Sri Lanka Association of New York, the past presidents, the representative of the Mayor of Danville, the Senator, the State Senator, and the other representatives here, and dear friends. At the beginning, I want to extend the warm greetings of His Excellency Jari Wickramasuriya, the Ambassador of Sri Lanka to the United States. He regrettably is not with us here today due to a previous official commitment. I warmly endorse what Ambassador Govana has just said about the significance of this event. It is, I think, a matter of pride to all of us that for the 36th time this event has taken place in the city of Danville. I think it is my duty to acknowledge His Worship the Mayor of the City Council of Danville and also to the friendly people of Danville for hosting this event for the Sri Lankan community in New York and New Jersey. So we extend our full thanks, and we also look forward to the same continued cooperation in the future as well. One other point that I think it's very difficult to make a speech after His Excellency Dr. Govana makes a speech, but one point I want to stress is that the enduring bonds of friendship between Sri Lanka and the United States is epitomized by the friendship that we make. The people-to-people contact is also as important as government relations. And I think the bonds and the ties of friendship that we make here with our friends here and with the Sri Lankan community will only go to nurture and nourish this wonderful relationship that we have between the two countries. And without taking too much of your time, also I think all of you, my countrymen and countrywomen from Sri Lanka, are also ambassadors of Sri Lanka who are spreading the word of what's going on in Sri Lanka, particularly in the post-conflict phase. And I think you will encourage your friends in the US also to inform them about the correct situation in our country, what's happening there, and encourage more friends from the US to visit Sri Lanka. And also we need more investment and business links to be developed between our two countries. So once again, thank you very much. It's a pleasure and a privilege for me to be with you here today. And I wish the President, the past Presidents, and the organizing committee of this Sri Lanka Day in Danville all the very best in their future endeavors. Thank you very much.
I'll have to bother you with one more speaker, the President of the Sri Lanka Medical Association of North America, Dr. Lakshman Denipidia. This group is of paramount importance to the Sri Lankan community here.
Thank you, Jay. Distinguished guests, honorable ambassadors, fellow Sri Lankan Americans. For those of you who are not too familiar with our association, let me just make an introduction. The Sri Lanka Medical Association of North America, which is also known as LAMANA, is celebrating 15 years of charitable service. We are a volunteer organization, we are not-for-profit, and we are tax-exempt. During these 15 years, we have funded various projects in Sri Lanka that would amount to $1 million or more. And all these projects are sent to people who are really deserving and are benefiting from it. Our primary goal is to provide health-related and humanitarian charitable services, and we've done this for 15 years, just like I told you, in Sri Lanka. In 2009, we added the United States of America to our mission as well. And if you want to check out the projects we have funded so far, if you visit our website, which is www.slmana.org,
east.org, you will see a very good description of all the projects we have funded. Since 2009, we have also done these health fairs, and this is the third time we are coming to Denver to participate in this event. We will be checking your blood pressures, blood glucose levels. There's a lot of reading material ranging from diabetes to Alzheimer's disease, which is all free of charge. Everything that we do there is free of charge. So take advantage of it and please visit our booth. I'd like to congratulate Jay and this lady. I'm looking around and this is a gigantic task, and I know you guys are putting a lot of effort to do this. This is important to the Sri Lankan community. I think it's important, and it's also, I think, therapeutic. Hoping that this tradition will continue for many, many more years. And congratulations again, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Engineer. There's one more point before we go fly the Sri Lankan flag. A few miles from here, there was an American who came to Sri Lanka in the 1890s. A person by the name of Colonel Henry Steele Olcott. He came from Orange, New Jersey. He lived there, he was born there. We have been wanting to construct a statue in memory of this man to say thank you to him, because when he came, there were 800 odd foreign schools of different culture and different non-Sri Lankan culture, and this man came and built 257 schools with our religion and our background, and put English education into those schools with the native Sri Lankans. This guy, Henry Steele Olcott, is one of the greatest revered names in Sri Lanka. So I want everybody to know that on the 10th of September, in the Princeton Temple, we are unveiling his statue. Dr. Kottachi, will you come up here, Dr. Kottachi? He is the chairman of this event. He and his committee, we are all from the old school called Ananda College, Colombo. We went to, which was first done by Henry Steele Olcott. So we Anandians from Sri Lanka have an academic ancestry to this country, to this soil, to this hallowed ground called New Jersey, where Henry Steele Olcott was born. So that way, you want to say something, Dr. Kottachi, for the big event to unveil, to say thank you to Henry Steele Olcott, an American who came to our country and really put our country on its feet. The natives of Sri Lanka were born to that particular person. He really revived a heritage that was underground till he came to our country. Dr. Kottachi.
Distinguished ambassadors and invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be very brief. I just want to make one point. Colonel Olcott was the first foreign relation between US and Sri Lanka began when he came in 1880. He was, so in that sense, the first unofficial ambassador of the United States to Sri Lanka. And as Jay mentioned, the services he rendered numerous, and he joined the Buddhist revival movement that was going on, and as it is our, and this, we are committing an act of gratitude to an American who did a great service to Sri Lanka. I hope you can join us. Thank you very much.
One of our past presidents, Ravi Karnataka, says that he's the most loved American in Sri Lanka because he, in fact, started the Vesak Day celebration to be an official day in our government. He had the flag, the Buddhist flag, he's the one who made it up. And he also got marriages done by the Sri Lankan natives, officially accepted by the government of Sri Lanka, by the British government at that time. So we owe a lot to an American in a British country at that time to come up there and do what he did for us and saved our country from going very colonial, which some of us want to get associated with today. So thank you, Dr. Colonel Henry Steele Olcott, wherever you are. Now it's time we want Miss Samna Pereira come up here, please. Sing the national anthem.
Yes, the Assemblyman, Senator, and Mr. Andes would join me for the hoisting of the American flag.
And to represent Sri Lanka, we'll have Ambassador Dr. Kohana and Veeragon to hoist the flag, and Mr. Silva, General Silva, can you join us?
Rose, and what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad strokes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets wrecking land, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the brave and the home of the brave.
Thank you.
Salam sana.
Okay, goodbye.
Sri Lanka Mata, Apa Sri Lanka, Namo 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 Mata, Sundara Siri Barini, Surati Hati Sobhana Lanka, Danya Ganayane Kamal Palaturu Pirijaya Bhumi Ramya, Apahata Sapa Siri Seta Sadana, Jivana